everyone, and I'm Grace. Welcome back today. And today is, let's see here, November. Oh man, I forgot the date. So what? 12th? 13th? 14th? 14th. And it is about 8:10 p.m. on the 14th. I just said that. Anyways, today is going to be my 7th session. Wait. Yeah, 7th. Anyways, so for this week we talked about assertiveness. So as usual, we started out with a positive and negative. So let me go ahead and explain my positive and my negative for the week. So my positive for the week was that I have been talking to one of my second cousins on my dad's side of the family, and I was messaging her the other day, and I came out to her, and she was really supportive, really cool about it. So that was one really good thing. So yeah. Da-na-na. Okay. And the second thing was that, about that, is that she kind of said she already knew, so I'm guessing that I kind of scream it sometimes. I don't know. No. But the other thing is we talked about it, in that if I come out to my family on my dad's side, it's going to be really hard and tough on them because they are very conservative. And so, I know, it's not for everybody, but I know, it's not for everyone in everybody's family, but I know for mine for a fact, it's going to be that way. I just kind of know, I'm just afraid, but I know I'll figure out something though. As for negative, well, let's just say my car broke down and busted. So, yeah, where to start with that one? Yeah, I was picking up a couple of my buddies to take them out for celebration because they're all getting married. It's actually two really cool YouTubers on here that I'll put their channels down in the description. It's actually the Ethnic Group, one of the guys from there, Angel, and then also MurderestART. So yeah, anyways, I picked them up from their place, and then my car stopped. It busted. Something was going on. Turns out it was a tire ride. Well, I didn't pay that much for the car anyways, but to get it fixed would be more than the car, so sadly I had to tow them away. So, here goes my car. So I've just been kind of getting around the best I can. But anyways, let's get on to what therapy was about this week. So therapy was talking about assertiveness this week. So let me bring up my papers I got. Alright, so we learned about different kind of assertive behaviors at therapy. So we have our assertiveness training today. Alright, let's get down to business. Okay, so we have the non-assertive, the aggressive, and the assertive. So we just talking about each one. So like a non-assertive one would be a person whose behavior is emotionally dishonest, indirect, inhibited, or self-denying, and they often feel anxious and disappointed with themselves at the time, and possibly angry and resentful later. Now, why do they do something like this? They hope to avoid unpleasant and risky situations, to avoid confrontation, tension, and conflict. Now, the problem with that is about this behavior is that they usually do not get what they need. Their anger builds up and they do not feel good about themselves. So, they just kind of feel really bad down. It's just kind of like, for example, the people that are like really quiet and, don't say very much, or when they want to, talk about things, they're very quiet and they don't know how to come about it, to talk to you about the situation. So something like that though. So there are people out there who like that, and everybody's got their own differences and everything. So it's gonna take time, to be assertive, to have that bone in you. So It's gonna happen. No worries. Take your time. Don't worry. Don't push it. Don't rush it too much. It's okay. You know I was one of those people back then, but once I started getting to know myself and better wise, I've started to become a little stronger each day, which is okay. So don't worry. Don't rush it. Take your time, but don't take it too slow, because then you might be old and gray and so on and so forth. But you know what I mean though. So for the second person that we got for our behavior is our aggressive person. So this one is about them is, their behavior includes expressing their feelings and needs, ideas, the expense of others, standing up for your own rights, but ignoring the rights of others. Now these are what you would call the people that come off really mean and angry and nasty to you. So like, in the face, a punch. Something like that though. Now let's continue on it. True that their behavior is expressive, but it's usually defensive, hostile, and self-defeating. That person tries to make choices for themselves or for others. They usually end up feeling angry, self-righteous, and possibly guilty later. Now, why do they feel like this? It's the way of venting their anger that they have built up, and sometimes they achieve their goal, at least kind of in the short run, not the long one, the short one. Yeah, it doesn't really help out when you do stuff like that. No. You don't want to be mean to people, do you? I mean, unless you have fun doing that, kind of like a bully, but I wouldn't see why you would want to do that though. So let's continue. Now, the problem is with this person is that they distance themselves from other people and end up feeling frustrated, bitter, and alone. See, now that tends to happen with people like that. Those are what you kind of call sometimes your bullies in elementary school or high school, even middle school. Bullies up in sometimes in college or, even past that. Stuff like that. So those are kind of like the in your face type people. They don't have any boundaries is the thing. And that's the problem with some of them. And then they get too aggressive and mean. And then it really gets down to hurting people's feelings in their heart, or in your heart too. It depends on how you look at it. So that's the one thing on that. So that's why you don't really want to be that kind of person unless you really enjoy being mean to people. And I don't want to be mean, but being mean and not getting along with people and having a fun time. So yeah, though. Okay, now for the third behavior, we have the assertive behavior. Okay, now the characteristic of assertive behavior of this person includes your feelings, needs, and ideas standing up for your legitimate rights in ways that it does not violate the rights of others. Now, how cool is that one? That's kind of like the all-time friend that you want, one in one big package, like here you go. Okay, now let's see here. This behavior of the person is usually emotionally honest, direct, expressive, and self-enhancing. The person who is assertive makes their own choices, is usually confident, and feels good about themselves while they are being assertive, but not aggressively, not in your face, nicely, strong, humph, like they're a good person, that you want them in your life, you want them to be your friend. End of story. Let's continue. What's in it for them? They usually achieve the goals, and even when they don't, they still feel good about themselves. Knowing that they have been straightforward, active, assertively, reinforces them good feelings about themselves, improving their self-confidence, and leads to a freer, more honest relationship with others, which is a great thing. That I think everybody should be like that, but I know there aren't people who are like that. So those are the ones, that are going to be like, hey, let's talk about something, but not be like in your face type deal. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, okay, let's go on. So, we talked about those and did examples and stuff. Then after that, we kind of did something called the assertiveness inventory. So what it is that it's a little test that we had to do. And so, what it did was that it gave us 16 questions on what different situations we would have, how we would act to it, and it was 0 through 4, so 0 being no or never, 1 was somewhat or sometimes, 2 was average, 3 was usually most of the time, or 4 was always or entirely. And then they had 4 different scorings. So there was the poor assertiveness, the 16 and below, low assertiveness, 17 through 32, the medium assertiveness, 33 through 48, and then the high assertiveness, the 49 through 64. Now, when I took this, I thought I was going to get the low assertiveness, 17 through 32, which is you may feel intimidated by others, or that asserting yourself isn't worth it. You may feel uncomfortable standing up for yourself, and your self-esteem may suffer. You need more work on being assertive, which I honestly think there's always room to improve on things, which is never a bad thing. Personally, I've always looked at it as a good thing. It's more something you can strive for your goal. Okay, but when I took the test, I ended up skimming by with a 33, hitting in the medium assertiveness department, which is you do pretty good at asserting yourself, but you may struggle with advocating for yourself in certain situations, which I can see multiple times and plenty. Your self-esteem tends to be good, but you could use more work at the assertiveness to really honor yourself. Now see, like I said beforehand, anybody can still practice, even if you're at the high assertiveness rank. It doesn't matter. There's always room for improvement. Nothing wrong with that, though. So, alright, that was pretty much it. And then also, we just talked about different assertiveness stuff, how to be different from the aggressive and the passive, and then the assertive, And then also, there's a step-by-step process here, which we had was 7 different steps. And what they were was that, let's go with them, and then I'll go through them. So, step 1 was observe your own behavior, which was, are you asserting yourself adequately? Are you satisfied with your effectiveness in interpersonal relationships? Look and ask how you feel about yourself. Step 2, keep track of your assertiveness. Make a long diary for each week. Record each day those situations in which you find yourself responding assertively, those in which you blew it, and those avoided altogether, so that you won't have to face the need to act assertively. Be honest with yourself. Systematic. That's always a good thing. Be honest and don't lie to yourself, because then you build up stuff and build up nasty thoughts in your head, lies, and all that nasty gunk that you don't want. Number 3, observe an effective model. At this point, it would be helpful to watch someone who handles the same situations very well. If the model is a friend, discuss his or her or their approach and response. So it's always nice to have a friend who knows, who isn't the in your face or the type person. But what you do want is someone who's real good and strong, though. So what you want to do here is, just talk to them and be like, hey, what can I do to, improve on stuff? Or even talk to them and they can, describe the best that they can for that reason, though. Okay. Step 4, consider alternative responses. What are other possible ways in the incident that it could have been handled? Could you deal with it more to your own advantage and less offensively? Straightforward, Are you gonna be real calm and cool about it and be assertive? Or are you gonna be in your face type deal? Or just really quiet about the situation? Because you don't want to deal with it. But don't be afraid about it. That's all. Step 5. Imagine yourself handling the situation. Close your eyes and visualize yourself dealing effectively with the situation. It's kind of like, taking a breather, meditating. Breathe in, breathe out. Just take a moment to yourself. Don't go head forward in there and be stupid about what you're gonna say. And also, you may act similar to the model or in a different manner, like have your own twist to it, your personality. Be assertive, but be your natural self as much as you can. So, still tell them how you feel and all of that, but don't be mean and aggressive. Don't be that bully. Nobody wants to be the bully here. Okay, step 6, try it out. Having examined your own behavior, consider alternatives and observe a model for more adaptive action. You are now prepared to begin trying out for yourself new ways of dealing with the problem situation. So, which means that you've come to realize that, I know how to handle the situation now without being that bully, which is great. So what you want to do is keep that thought in mind and also have your twist to it, your personality, and also keep in mind the ideas or thoughts that your friends helped you through, and do that from there. And bam, you got yourself and your assertiveness, no one else's, just you. Okay, now step 7, get the feedback. Check out your weaknesses and strengths and discuss progress with a friend, parent, or your therapist. So after you've come to terms with yourself and all of that put in together into a big pile or a big pot, and you cook it up and call it you can also talk with your friend, your family, or your therapist just to go through and show them what you've done, which is amazing. So that's Christine. So you got you for your assertiveness. And so that's what we talked about this week, was pretty much the assertiveness stuff. And then also we got really big and heated into the debate about the situation that's kind of happening right now, though. But I don't know how to come about this, but all I can say is that it's really scary for not just me, but for everybody in the LGBT community, because so many things are going to happen. He's going to try, or whatever, but we got to just remember that there is a court system and that he can't do everything by himself. Now, he doesn't go into office till January, so maybe we'll still have hope that something will happen, though. But until now, though, we just got to keep our heads up and our chest out strong. And I know it's a hard thing to do rather than say, but I know just with all the chaos that's going on, it's the best thing we can do for us right now. So that's why, though, boy, don't feel down. Don't feel bad. Don't feel ashamed of yourself. Embrace yourself and love who you are and enjoy what you have going for you. Don't be afraid to stand up. And if it's just you, and that's okay. But just always know that there's always going to be someone by you no matter what happens. Capiche? Okay, now, since I talked about the wedding earlier, let me go show you what I've got to wear for it. What? And now, for the final reveal. Ba-da-da-da-da-da. And I even got this and tied my tie myself. Well, I could use a little work on tie-tying. It's actually not too bad, though. So yeah, this is what I'm wearing for the wedding, though. Probably gonna spike up my hair, too. But, yeah. I'm actually really excited for my buddies. Seen them grow up together, and we hung out for the longest time, and Like I said, it's Angel from the ethnic group and MurderestART. No. Yeah. I'll put their names down in the description and I'll check y'all guys out later for next week and hook you up with an update. And also, the wedding is right after my next therapy session next week, so hopefully I'll have some pictures or videos of the bride and groom. So yeah, though, so don't forget to like, favorite, comment, share, and let's spread that love everywhere. And also, don't forget to check me out on Instagram and Twitter. Alright guys, you guys have a good night, and I will talk to you next week. Oh, one more thing. If you had to choose for yourself, what assertiveness would you be? Would you be the passive, the aggressive, or the assertive one? Alright guys, I will talk to you later and talk to you guys next week. Bye!